Hey, how's it going? Today I'm going to show you how to see what's changed in a GitHub repo since a given date. And specifically, we're going to look at what has been added to a GitHub repo since a specific date. As always, if you know of a better way of doing any of this, please let me know in the comments. Looking to learn always. Okay, so I have a repo here checked out, the Lunar Vim repo. This will work on any repo, but this is just one I picked sort of at random. I know a little bit how it works, so I think it's good as an example. So I have a command here, change since, and a given date. All right, so if I run this, and we'll look at what change since is doing, but if I run it, it's going to give me every file that has changed since that date, and then a letter, A, M, R, or D. A means that it's been added, right? So this file has been added, right? So they added changelog workflow. M means it's been modified, right? So somebody updated it. R, so this R is renamed, right? So the file's been renamed, and then there's a D down here. That means that's deleted. So someone deleted ft.lua. Okay, so before I get into why that's useful at all, let's look at this change since script and see how it works. All right, so this is pretty simple. What we're doing is we're grabbing the current branch name. We're looking for a commit from around the time of the date that we passed in, because there may not actually be one on that specific date, so it's roughly. We're calling shift. So shift is going to, because we passed in the date argument, we don't want that being passed to Git, so we're now shifting that argument, right? So you've probably seen that in maybe JavaScript, right? A lot of languages, right? So array shift, we're getting this thing out of our array of arguments, and then we're just running diff, but with a special command here, name status. So maybe you've seen name only before, where it only shows you the names. Now we're also showing the status, and that status is the AMDR that we showed earlier. Okay, so and then once you run that again, you get something like this. What if I only want to show the files that have been added since a certain date? Here's what I can do. So I'm going to grep, and what am I going to grep for? I'm going to grep for anything that starts with A. All right, if you're not familiar, this is a limited regex, and all this is saying is any line that starts with and then a capital A, right? So that's all of these A's here. So now I have all the files that have been added since October 15th. Okay, but this output isn't really great because I don't really want to see all these A's and spaces here. I know that these are added. So what I can do is I can throw sed onto the end of this, and sed is going to take each line, and in this case, it's going to substitute. So it's just going to modify the line and put it back. So what I'm saying here is, okay, anything that starts with A and space, okay, change that to nothing. All right, again, this is regex. If you've worked with regex, you'll understand that. If not, you should learn some regex. It's super useful. Okay, so now I've got all the files that have been added since that date. Now that I've got all those files, I can do, my regular stuff. So I can find out using word count -L how many files there were. There were 9, right? But I can also do other stuff. I can grep, and I can say, oh, I got to move myself out of the way here. I can say, okay, I only want to know about the ones that are in the lua/lvim directory. Okay, so I can see that there are only 3 in that directory. So now if you have a code base and you want to see what's been added to maybe this module or to this folder since you've been gone for the last 2 months, perfect. You can run this and you can see what has actually been added, what files have been added. All right, now looking again at these files, we've got a list of all the files that have been added. Let's say I was a particularly terrible manager and I said, you know what? From now on, I'm just going to delete any files that are new. So you can do that, right? So you can pass this to xargs, right? Which is going to take all of these, and I can run rm on it. Boom. If I look at my git status now, I've just deleted all those files. Obviously, you don't really want to do that. Trying to be hilarious in a YouTube video. So yeah, that's it. Let me know if there are better ways of doing any of this. I do think it is actually pretty useful to be able to see what's been changed in a repository, especially if there's a lot of people working on it, and maybe it's not easy to stay up to date with the things that are happening every day. Hope you're having a good day.